Hey guys, and welcome back to Brexit. Brexit England, Northern Ireland, and Eastern Europe. And in Brexit England, we are being run by trolls, puppets, muppets, idiot fools, stupidities, twats, tossers, wankers, and flatulating buttheads. That's who's running this shit right here. They have cancelled HS2. Well, they said we've put it on temporary hold, but I believe that means that they've cancelled that shit because you know why? It is too expensive for them to carry on. And you have to say, well, who has made this economy far too expensive to be able to do any big? Imagine that. We've got a government that can't do big projects because they have destroyed the economy. That's what they've done. They've destroyed the economy. The economy is on its face, on the floor, outside the pub on Saturday night, and it's been stepped over, right, by all the workers from the market who have come to work early so they can start working. But our economy is there. It's in the way. It is disgusting what these people have done to this economy in this country. So much so. I mean, remember when Boris Johnson was bragging about all 40 hospitals and all this? And you see, the problem in this country is someone needs to take the people and figure out this country, right, and tell them the truth about this country. We have food banks and warm banks. Okay, that's the country we're living in. And you know, a politician can't even put their head over the parapet and say that. I mean, you know, it was only Jeremy Corbyn that used to talk about food banks. And what would they say to him? Oh, you're running down the country. While Boris Johnson would be saying, well, we're going to build 40 new hospitals, knowing that, you know what, they couldn't build 40 new hospitals because they would run out of money. It would cost too much. It costs too much to do anything in this economy because these people have destroyed this economy. So much so that one of our big projects, HS2, has had to be cancelled or put on hold, as they like to say. But what they need people with real big ideas on how to run some shit, right? You know, they put me in charge of this shit, right? 10 years ago, they said, you know what we want to do? No. Forget the high speed rail track. Forget that. Let's just go along and see if we can raise the bridges and then put some double decker fucking trains on the fucking tracks. But oh no, these people want to come up with something new and fancy, knowing that they're no good at fucking big projects. These motherfuckers aren't the Victorians, right? The Victorians would have had this done and dusted. Because they seem to be much smarter than a lot of the politicians that we have nowadays running shit. It's a real shame, right, that this country, once the great nation Britain, is so low that it cannot afford to do big projects in its own land. And welcome back to By Any Means Necessary. Thank you so much for all your messages sent me. A special thanks to everybody who signs up my channel. I feel so blessed with so much people that signed up, so thank you so much for that. I'll go through all your messages. I'll answer as many as I can, but I will like all the messages I've sent. And it's Friday already. Can you believe that? The week's just like, boom, week gone. We are being mocked on Russian TV. Russian TV is mocking the UK. They are showing our empty shelves that, because we've got like a lack of fruit and vegetables at the moment. I think things are clearing up now, but the Russians have been showing this, and then making comments as to the British economy is so far trashed, right, that they can't get food. These fuckers will soon be eating squirrels. Like, wow, well, they could be delicious. You never know, right? Curried, right? Well, I was going to go for some ingredients, but I won't bother. But that's how we're being mocked by the Russians, that we'll soon be eating squirrel. I don't know where this government have taken this country to, right? But not being able to pull off big project, and soon we'll be eating squirrel. Prosecutors in the USA will ask Donald Trump to attend a grand jury in front of a grand jury next week. So it looks like Donald Trump is going to be charged with a criminal offence over the payments to Stormy Daniels, the smart guy who says, you know what, everything he does, he's so smart at it, and then he went and got caught giving out payments, right, to a porn star. And he got caught. And now this ass has to face the consequences. Donald Trump he just, he declared wants to be president again, yeah, because he was trying to get rid of all this type of stuff. But, there's a lot of criminal charges that can come against him because he's got the thing in Georgia and then he's got the thing another thing in New York, because I think this one's out in New York as well. But this Stormy Daniels one looks like it's going to be the first one that he's going to be an indicted president. First time, I believe, ever, and the president's going to be indicted on a criminal charges. Unbelievable. We had a mass shooting in Germany. I believe like 6 people, I think, was killed. They've gone after the targeted Jehovah's Witnesses for some reason. Don't know why, but a lot of these people, they if they're not religious who do it, then there's people who seem to go after people who are religious. So, a lot of nut jobs around the world, don't really matter where you are. And Rishi Sunak goes to France today to offer the French another £200 million to keep the migrants right there in their own backyard. That's like you going to your cousin and saying, listen, you know what? Our cousin, he's very smelly. Our cousin Jack, he's a very smelly guy. He stays at my house. Sometimes he stays at yours, right? But between us, he's always at one of ours. So you say to your brother, listen, you know what? My wife and kids, they don't really, they can't take the smell. So look, do me a favour. Can you keep him at your house? I'm going to give you £10,000. The brother says, well, my wife and kids don't like the smell. But then your brother thinks, hold on a minute. Jack's he's a free soul. He just goes in between the two. So you give him that 10 grand and your brother says, okay, fair enough. That same night, Jack turns up at his house and he says, well, yeah, but I tried to stop him, but you know what he's like? He's a free soul. And that's exactly what the French will do. The French will just say, well, we'll take this £200 million. Pounds, please. We don't want euros. And the French are going to do exactly what they've been doing all the time. Sitting on their hands and helping the boats to come across. Rishi Sunak accused Keir Starmer of being in support of the people smugglers. You see how low politics has got in this country, right? Where, just look at the facts, right? For example, right? We've got Gary Lineker who has said, about, the language not dissimilar to 1930s. And the newspapers have gone mad and they're picking up on that rather than picking up, on what Cruella de Braverman has said, right? We are going to make asylum seeking illegal. So it's illegal to run away from the Taliban, right? From Al Qaeda, right? Or from Boko Haram or even ISIS. It's illegal to run away from them according to all those hate groups, right? Those poisonous hate groups, right? Who will string up people from lampposts. It's illegal to run away from them. And it's also illegal for you to run away from them and come here. Don't come here. You stay there. Because it's illegal for you to do anything like that. Just unbelievable, isn't it? People are just like, oh no, what does she say? She said, right, that these people are going to be made illegal. It's illegal to run away from the Taliban. It's illegal to run away from a group that will murder you, right? Cut off your head. It's illegal to run away from them. Oh dear. Over 500 people died last year due to ambulance delays. So I'm just going to do some maths quickly while I'm speaking to you. So 500 divided by 12 is 41, 42 people. 41 or 42 people died extra a month, right? A month, right? 41 people extra. Right, that's over 10 people a week because of the shortages of ambulances not being able to get to their destination because they're all sat outside the hospitals. This is the economy these people have built. They've built an economy and we can't get an ambulance because there's over 500 people a year dying because the ambulance can't get to them on time. They can't build HS2. And now all we're going to see is Rishi Sunak stop the boats on the lectern. Stop the boats. Stop the boats. Culture wars. That's all these people have got. And freedom of movement is back. Freedom of movement's back. Wow. I hear you say, not for us, for EU builders. Freedom of movement is back. But obviously, I said this from a long time ago that they're going to bring that freedom of movement, but for people from the EU via the back door. It's not going to come back for us because these people have got rich people don't want put the poor and the working classes to have anything. They didn't like the idea that you had freedom of movement, that you could move freely around, like Europe in that way. They didn't like that for some reason. I don't know why, but they like it for themselves because the thing with rich people is rich people will always have freedom of movement because they're free to go wherever they want in the world, but they've taken away yours. And now we find out that the blinking German blinking builders and the Hungarian and the Romanian and I was going to say the Russian, right? But all the EU builders were able to come here just like that. My friends, I have to bow out of here because I'm going to be 1 minute over on this one. This is the end of the week. This, my friends, is by any means necessary. I shall see you next week. I'm signing out.